proposition 1. Proposition 1 without tax or no taxes. So under this, value of your levered firm is equal to value of unlevered. So that means levered, unlevered all has got the same value here. So levered, for example, imagine, let's say levered as in this company has raised debt by issuing bond. So let's say 40% is bond and 60% is equity. Now this is equal to unlevered firm. So 100% equity, if I say, all will come to the same value. So how it happens, all that thing I will be deriving it, but this is the point to be noted. Okay, so first I'm just giving you the points, then I will explain on and derive all these things. Okay, now proposition 1 with taxes. Proposition 1 with taxes. So here value of your levered firm is equal to value of unlevered firm plus debt into tax. Okay, debt into tax. So here if you notice, the value for your levered firm in comparison to no taxes, this much it is going up. Debt into tax rate, this much it is going up. Why it is going up, how it is going up, all that I need to explain it to you. So that means because the value is going up for the levered firm, value is maximized. This is the takeaway point here. Value is maximized for 100% debt, 100% debt. So this is the takeaway point. So the proposition 1 is value based one. So this is value based. Okay, value based one. Now second one, proposition 2, no taxes. So no taxes is so this is WACC based, weighted average cost of capital, WACC based. So WACC based, so cost of equity is equal to RO as in original cost of equity plus original cost of equity minus cost of debt. Okay, RD is cost of debt into debt to equity ratio. So this is the formula. Okay, so in this case cost of equity increases linearly. It increases linearly. Okay, then so again, why it is happening, all I need to prove it. Okay, now proposition 2 with tax. With tax, cost of equity is equal to original cost of equity plus RO minus RD, that is cost of debt, into 1 minus tax rate into debt by equity. So this is the change over here, because there is tax here, it comes as 1 minus T. Okay, so because this 1 minus T, this reduces the overall value, so that's why WACC gets reduced here. So WACC is minimized at 100% debt. Okay, so this is the takeaway points of proposition theory. Okay, But so how do I prove this now, all these points? Okay, so to prove all these points, I need to do a sum, which I have taken from the curriculum, CFA curriculum. So here is the question. Yeah, so this question I have taken from the curriculum. So Gerhard Corporation cost of equity. Assume that Gerhard Corporation has an all equity capital structure. Gerhard has expected annual cash flows of 5,000 euro, and the cost of equity is 10%. Okay, which is also the WACC, since equity is the firm's only source of capital. So right now this is the only source. That means it's an unlevered firm. There is no debt involved. So for simplicity, we assume that all cash flows are perpetual. Okay. So now suppose that Gerhard plans to issue 15,000 in debt at a cost of 5% and use the proceeds to buy back and reduce its outstanding equity by euro 15,000. So that means they are planning to raise debt for 15,000 and use it for buyback. Okay, so that means equity also will come down by 15,000 there, and debt will go up by 15,000. This action leaves total invested capital unchanged at 50,000. Okay, so this is the question now. So using this question, I am going to derive whatever I have written about MM theory. Okay, so first of all, value of an unlevered firm, that means without any leverage, what was the value? Because that time, its cash flow was 5,000 and cost of equity is 10,000. So before it issued any sort of debt here, so this was the case. So this part, so I'm writing till here. So till here, if I read, what is the value of the company, okay, or value of the firm? So based on this, I can say value of an unlevered firm is equal to cash flows. So value of an unlevered firm is equal to cash flow at time 1, because here every year it is 5,000, so it will be 5,000 only, because it says perpetual. Okay, it says perpetual 5,000. Okay, perpetual 5,000. So cash flow at time 1 divided by cost of equity. So this is the formula. Okay, so based on this, I can say 5,000 divided by 10%, because 10% was the cost of equity. So the value of the unlevered firm comes to 50,000. Okay, value of the unlevered firm comes to 50,000. Right, so 50,000 is the value of the unlevered firm. Now 50,000, this is the market value of equity. Now you see here they are planning to raise debt of, so they are planning to raise 15,000 debt. Okay, and buy back 15,000 equity. So therefore new capital structure is going to be because right now it is 50,000 and they are going to raise debt of 15,000 and they are going to buy back 15,000. So they will get 15,000 and then they will give 15,000 to buy back this equity. So that means at the end what will happen? At the end, this equity will get reduced by 15,000. So equity will be reduced to 50,000 minus 15,000. Okay, because buyback will happen. So equity will be reduced to 35,000 and here debt will be 15,000. So new capital structure is going to be like equity 35,000 and debt of 15,000. Okay, so this is the new capital structure. Now if I calculate the value of this new capital structure, so value of equity is 35,000. So this is the new capital structure. Now if I have to find out the value of this new capital structure firm, but now I'll move to proposition 2 because I need to find out the WACC information. Only then I can find out the value. Okay, so I'll move to proposition 2 with proposition 2 no taxes. Okay, because we are still not considering taxes. So proposition 2 no taxes, here cost of equity is going to be original cost of equity plus original minus cost of debt into debt by equity. Okay, so here original initially it was 10% plus 10% minus, now cost of debt is 5%. It was given in the question. Okay, so it is 5%. See this here, 5% cost of debt. So cost of debt is 5% into, now debt is 15,000 divided by equity is 35,000. So when I solve this, I get the value as 12.143%. So that means the cost of equity has gone up. Okay, so it has gone, initially it was 10%, now it is 12.143, and that's what this point derives, that cost of equity increases linearly. Okay, so cost of equity, so when you add debt, cost of equity is increasing linearly here. Okay, now again if I go back to the question, yeah, then let me find out the WACC here. WACC is equal to, okay, WACC is equal to, now WACC will be equal to weight of equity into cost of equity plus weight of debt into after tax cost of debt. After tax cost of debt. So this is the formula for WACC. So weight of equity will be 35,000 equity out of the total capital of 50,000. Okay, because this debt and equity becomes the total capital. So capital will be 50,000. Okay, so 35,000 by 50,000 into cost of equity is 12.143%. This is one part, plus weight of debt. Weight of debt will be 15,000 divided by 50,000 total into after tax cost of debt will be 5%, 1 minus tax. 1 minus tax will be 1 minus 25%. The tax was 25%. So 1 minus 25%. So now if I solve all this, it comes to 10%. Okay, so the WACC will come to 10%. The WACC will remain unchanged. Okay, you can write this point as well. This is also one of the takeaway point, that equity will, even though the cost of equity increased linearly, WACC will remain unchanged. So I'll write this point as well. Cost of equity increases linearly, however, WACC will remain unchanged. Because earlier also it was overall 10%, now also it is overall 10%. Okay, so now if I have to find out the value of the firm, so again now if I have to find out the value of the firm, which was cash flow at time 1 divided by WACC is equal to, cash flow is again 5,000 only, because cash flow remains the same, 5,000 only the company is creating, by WACC is 10%, so it is coming to same 50,000. So that means now this is a levered form. So let me write here, this is a levered one. Initially what I did was an unlevered one. So this is what it proves. So this is unlevered one is also 50,000, and levered one is also 50,000. So this is the derivation of, or this is the proof for this point. Value of a levered firm is equal to value of unlevered. So even after taking 15,000 debt, its value is as good as unlevered one. Okay, so that's what this proves. Now further, if I want to further break up this number further, what I can do is, if I want to find out value of debt and value of equity, then what I can do is, see, first of all, debt perspective. Okay, so this is, let's say, value of equity. I want to find out value of equity. So value of the levered firm is equal to value of equity plus value of debt. So value of equity, equity, how do I find out the value of debt now? So value of debt, see, value is equal to what? Cash flow by WACC. Now similarly, let me do it separately. Value of debt is equal to, so again the same logic, cash flow by WACC, right? So here it will be cash flow at time 1 by cost of debt. Okay, so cash flow is 5% of 15,000, and cost of debt is 5%. So that will come as 750 by 5%, and when I calculate, I will get the value as 15,000. Okay, so 15,000, which was the actual value of debt. Also, we raised this much money only, right? So I'm just proving all that stuff here. So I'm just kind of reaffirming all that thing. Okay, it is 15,000. Similarly, for cost of equity, or not cost of equity, value of equity. Value of equity is equal to value of equity. See, 700 initially. See, company is generating 5,000, but out of that now 750 it will have to pay to debt. So this is the cash flow now for equity, divided by what is the new value of new cost of equity is 12.143 percentage. This is the new cost of equity. Okay, so new cash flow is this much and new cost of equity is this much. So that comes to 4250 divided by 12.143 percentage. So that comes to 35,000. So which was the value, but I'm just, again, as I said, I know I'm just proving it again. So 35,000 and 15,000, and overall it comes to total value of the firm is 50,000. So this is the breakup amount. Okay. So I hope all these points are cleared, that value remains unchanged. Before also it was 50,000, after also it was 50,000, and cost of equity increased linearly. Before it was 10 percentage, and after the debt it became 12.143 percentage. However, the WACC was before also 10 percentage, after issuing debt also it was 10 percentage only. So WACC remains unchanged. So I have just proved all the left hand side information here. Fine. Now coming to the right hand side information. So the right hand side information is value is going up now here by debt into tax when tax is involved. Okay, so this is what I need to prove now. Okay, and also over here, as far as WACC is concerned, WACC is also minimized when tax is involved. So that also I need to prove. Okay, fine. So these two I'm going to prove now. So I'm just going to continue the sum, the same sum, but with some additions to it. Okay, so recall from the previous example, that means the one that we did now just some time back. Annual cash flows to Gerhard shareholders were 5,000. Okay, and cost of equity or WACC was 10 percentage. Now Gerhard is planning to issue 15,000 of 5 percentage debt to buy back equivalent amount of equity. However, assume that Gerhard pays corporate taxes. Now this is the new point. Now there is a tax involved in it. So when the tax is involved in it, how will it impact now? How the value will get impact, and how the WACC will get impacted. So that's what we are going to see now. Okay. So now first of all, how will the value get impacted? Okay. So now let's say if it is an unlevered firm. So for unlevered firm, how it will get impacted? So 5,000 is the cash flow, but however we need to pay now 25% tax. So 1 minus 25% will be left out. Okay, divided by 10%. So when you calculate this, it comes to 3750 by 10%. That comes to 37,500. Okay, so this is 37,500. Now value of your levered firm. So levered firm, as per the formula, it is unlevered plus debt into tax. Okay, so at the moment I'm just taking the formula as it is. After some time I will prove this as well. Okay, so right now what is the levered firm? If I blindly go with the formula, so it is 37,500, which I got it from here, plus debt is 15,000 into tax rate is 25%. Okay, so if I calculate all this, it comes to 37,500 plus 3750, that comes to 41250. This is the value of the levered firm. Okay, so now if I have to bifurcate this between value of debt and value of equity, okay, it will be value of debt is equal to, see, value of debt we know it is 15,000 because we have issued bond for 15,000. So value of equity will be it will be 41 250, which is the value of the levered firm, minus value of the firm, minus value of debt, which is 15,000. So it will come to 26,150. Okay, so these are all the changes because of the taxes. So I can write like this: value of equity is equal to value of the firm minus value of debt. So that's why 41, I'm just rewriting the same thing. So this comes to 26,150. Okay. Now, so the value is getting changed over here, and it is following this way. Okay, this formula. Now, so you see the value is 41,250 now. Okay. Yeah. Now let me focus on WACC now. So WACC perspective, if I calculate, so proposition 2 with tax. So cost of equity is going to be RO plus RO minus RD into 1 minus tax rate into debt by debt to equity ratio. Okay, so that is equal to 10% plus 10% minus 5% into 1 minus 25% is the tax. Now debt is 15,000, debt's value, and equity's value we have found out that it is 26,000. 26,000, sorry, this is 250, not 150. 26,250. Okay, so this is 250. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so 250. Yeah, so 26,250. Okay, so now when I calculate, all this comes to 12.143% cost of equity. Okay, 12.143%. Now I want to find out the WACC. Now WACC is equal to, now as I said, weight of equity into cost of equity, okay, plus weight of debt into cost of debt. So weight of equity here is 26,250 divided by total value 41,250. Okay, because this is the weight. Okay, equity by total, which is here value of the firm 41,250 into 12.143% plus 15,000 divided by 41,250 into, now this is supposed to be after tax cost of debt. Okay, after tax cost of debt. So it is 5% into 1 minus 25, because I need to consider after tax cost of debt. So if I solve all this, it gives me 9.091%. Okay, so that means the WACC is minimized. Okay, so here this is what I'm proving now. With tax, the WACC is minimized. Okay, so this is what I have proved. And yeah, so now coming back, okay, so now coming back to value. Now value of the firm is now 5,000 into 1 minus 25%, right? Because I'm supposed to pay tax. So I will be left out with only this much money, 5,000 into 1 minus 25%, now divided by WACC. WACC is 9.091%, which is equal to 3750, okay, by 9.091%, so that comes to 41,250. Okay, so I can find out this way also. It is coming to 41,250, which was the case over here. Okay, and yeah, and if I want to again break this into, this is value of the firm. So if I want to break this into value of equity and value of debt. Okay, so let's say, let me calculate value of debt first. So it will be 5% of 15,000 divided by its cost is 5%, so that is 750 by 5% is equal to 15,000, and value of equity is equal to 5,000 minus 750. Okay, now I'm supposed to pay tax, right? So 1 minus tax as well, 1 minus 25% tax. So only this much cash will be left out, divided by 12.143. Okay, so I'm using cost of equity, which comes to 12.143%. So when I calculate all this, this gives me 26,250, which I got over here as well, 26,250. Okay, 26,250. So I have just kind of proving everything. Okay, now coming to the question, coming to the question, like, why should you believe in this formula? Why is it going up only by this rate, debt into tax? So value of a levered firm is equal to value of unlevered, plus it is going up by this rate. Okay, so why is it so? Let's see now. So debt into tax. Now in order to, so I'm just going to prove this point now. Debt into tax, why are they adding? Okay, so here yeah, so let me write that statement. Value of the levered firm is equal to unlevered plus debt into tax. Okay, so this is what I'm going to explain further. Like, take the example, like earning before interest and taxes, let's say 5,000. In this case it is 5,000, so I'm taking the same number. and then imagine there is no debt, first of all, first case, so no interest payment also. So 5,000 is the earning before tax. Then let's say tax of 25%. Okay, so tax of 25% if I pay, that comes to 25% of 5,000 comes to 1250. So this comes to 3750 as the net profit. Now similarly, in the second case, if I take 5,000 as EBIT, and let's say I have issued debt as well, for which I need to pay 750 as my interest. So now my earning before tax will be 4,250. Okay, and tax, when I pay 25%, it comes to, so 25% of 4250 comes to 1062.5. okay, this is the 25% of 4250. Now when I calculate, it comes to 3187.5. 3187.5. okay, so now when I analyze, you see, because of the tax, because of the debt, because of this debt, initially I was paying 1250, now I'm paying 1062.5. that means, if I take the difference, this 1250 minus 1062.5, it comes to 187.5. so this is what I have saved. Okay, this is what I have saved, 187.5. how did I get this 187.5? 1250 minus 1062.5, so I get 187.5. okay, now this 187.5, okay, is, if I divide by 750, it comes as 25%. okay, it comes as 25%, and so overall I have saved like kind of 25%, and 25% of the entire debt, which is 15,000, this comes to 3750. okay, 3750. so that means overall this much is the value. okay, this much is the value. Another way to prove this is, I have saved 187.5 and also 750 is coming through debt. So the cash flow here is 750 plus 187.5. okay, now if I take this as 25%, if I calculate, this amount also will come to 3750. okay, so 937, if I add up, it comes as 937.5 divided by 25%, which is 3750. so that 3750 is nothing but 25% of 15,000, and the value also here, it is going up by 3750 only. See here, it is going up by 3750. so directly we are adding up this one, this 3750 we are getting through 25% of 15,000. so why do we do like this? That's what I have given here, because when we use debt, that means we are paying 750 and we are saving 187, so the value of this amount comes to 3750. so that 3750 only 25% of 15,000, and that's what we are adding up. Hope this gives you the clarity about this proposition theory and its formula, and thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot.